Royal Ridge Fruits, your third-generation family farm. From humble beginnings in 1962, when Carl Dorsing won 160 acres of prairie land in central Washington state through a state-sponsored lottery. The Dorsing family has grown into one of the largest tart cherry growers in the western United States. Today, Dorsing Farm continues to farm in Washington's fertile Columbia Basin. Royal Ridge Farms was born in 2009 to ensure the premium quality fruits grown on the Dorsing farms were processed into equally premium fruit ingredients for regional, national, and global food manufacturers. Leading retailers count on Royal Ridge to produce their store brand, value-packaged dried fruits.
So in the early 60s, my grandfather moved up from Oregon, and he was in the logging industry down there, and had an opportunity to come up here and establish some ground and begin the farm, which he did. Every time he made a little bit of money, he always put it back into the company and continued to grow the ground and grow the farm, and it's taken us to where we are now.
We began growing cherries in the mid-'80s. Began with tart cherries and sweet cherries were the two things that we did most of, and as that continued to grow, we really wanted to look for an opportunity to process the fruit and take it closer to the end user. So in 2000 we built Royal Ridge Fruit and began to process our own fruit.
So for harvesting, we use a technology. It's a two-piece machine. Allows us to get the fruit off of the trees in a timely manner, to get through the harvest quickly and be able to pick and harvest our fruit at the peak maturity, where quality is preserved, and within 4 to 5 hours the fruit is from the field, off the tree, cooled, and into the processing facility.
So the first thing we do is receive the fruit. We put it into the cold storage room. From here it is brought out and dumped into the outside dump tanks. After that, the cherries are elevated to a stemmer. From the stemmer, it goes onto an eliminator chain. This is where any loose material, such as stems, pits, little rocks, anything that may have made it, would fall through that eliminator chain first. So this gets the majority of the foreign materials out. Fruit then goes into a flume and over a rock trap. This is where anything that may have gotten missed would settle out in the rock trap system. So any little pebbles, any fine sand or anything would get eliminated there. From that point, we go down to optical sorters. This is where the cherries are put into individual lanes, and a camera analyzes the fruit and then can reject the cherries that don't meet the criteria. After the optical sorter, as the fruit then enters the pitter, the fruit gets pitted and then down onto a collection conveyor. So once the fruit is pitted, it's time for packaging. The fruit goes into a pail filler, which puts 25 pounds of cherries and 5 pounds of sugar on top. From there, the pail is lidded, washed, sanitized, and palletized. Once the fruit is palletized, it goes into the quick freeze, where we blast freeze it for 3 days. We generate most all of our dried product from frozen. So the frozen product, once it goes into the freezer, then comes out, and the dryer operation runs 24 hours, 7 days a week. We put the product through an infusion process prior to drying. Once it comes out the other end, it meets the customer specifications. We put it through an oiling system to put a light coating of sunflower oil on it, and then we put it through another laser sorter inspection. This is to remove any fruit that may have been over-dried or any pits that may have gotten through. From there, the product goes into bulk storage, where it enters into the warehouse and it waits for customer orders. Once we receive a customer order, the product moves from the dried warehouse into the packaging room. Here the product is packed to customer specification.
Our farm is located in the Columbia Basin, which is a very fertile soil area, which there's plenty of power, plenty of irrigation water. All of our fields are located on gentle slopes, which allow us less problems in the springtime with frost issues.
So it's a very unique climate here in eastern Washington that allows us to have and produce the quality of fruit that we do. We take a lot of pride. That comes instilled in us clear back to my grandfather. From the time I was 9 years old, working on the farm, driving tractor, we take a lot of pride in the product that we put our name on.